Hey guys, it's Wendy here with Wendy's Plans, and today I wanted to bring you a compare and contrast of the planners that I have used for 2025 and the planners that I will be using in 2026. And part of this is going to be explaining why I chose to go to Sterling ink, and we're just going to jump right in, and I am going to show you the differences between the planners that I've used this year and next year, and then talk to you about all of that. So let's just get started. So I think the easiest one's going to be to look at, I'm going to put everything to the side, is to look at my 2026 A5 full year daily planner. Now, my intent for this planner is for this to be my daily journal. So right now, I'm going to show you what I use. I have been purchasing these these journals from Target, and it is called Note to Self, and it is by Wit and Delight. And I think they're from Minnesota. I'm not sure. It's rubbing off. I can't really tell. But this is just a lined journal. Yes, it's A5. The spacing's really well because it's more like college roll, and I like it. The paper is thick. It accepts fountain pen and regular ink, and it's just stood up to the test of time. I've bought this over and over again, but that is part of the problem. I would like to have a planner where I can do a full year in my for a journal. So when I looked at her site, Sterling Ink site, I saw the daily planner and I thought, Wendy, that's probably exactly what you need. I'm going to turn my light on, guys. I don't know how well this is showing up um, on the screen. It's showing up pretty good for me, but anyway. So you open up the cover. First of all, I love this cover. It looks, and your brain tells you it should feel like a tweed fabric, but it is more like a cover, like a vegan leather kind of cover, which I do like that. I was really concerned that if it was a cloth type cover, using it for the whole year, it would start to get dirty. But anyway, that's another whole issue for me. Um, but I love this because I can just wipe it off. And then when you open it up, you get your 2026 year at a glance, which I'd still like to have it in my journal, to be honest. Then you get two blank pages, and then you go into yearly trackers. Now, I don't know that I will use the yearly tracker, but it's 2 pages, guys. It's not a big deal. And then my thought process on this page is if something happens um, that I want to go back and read my thoughts or my journal entry on, I will definitely put it in here. For example, this past year, my mother passed away. And so on the 16th, I would have put a notation on there so I could go to the 16th and read what my thoughts, what my memories were, and what I journaled about. So if I have some significance event, then that's, I want to log it in here. So I think this is going to be a great use of these pages for me. Now, guys, this is Wendy telling you how she is using her planner. This is why I'm using my planner. You can use your planner any way you want, but for me, this is what I'm using it for. This would be a great planner if you just want to daily plan. I think it's a great planner. Again, it does have the monthly pages in here. I probably won't do a whole lot with this monthly pages. I do feel like there may be things that I want to document in here, and I may do that. I think it would be great to track my emotions for the month. Um, or it could be great for, I don't know, guys. It could be great for my photo a day that I do. I don't know, but I haven't really decided what I'm going to do, but I'm not going to rule it out. So you do have, I'm just going to flip through these really quickly. It does go through January of 2027. Now, first and foremost, can I just tell you, I love the simplicity of these pages. It is so minimalist and I love it. Then you have a full page that says January, and then the next one says Thursday, 2026, January 1st. And I have a full page to write. Usually I finish my full page, my journaling on one A5 page. However, if I decide that I still have something else that I want to write, when I have an emotional day like this past year I did, I can always put an arrow and a page number, and I can go to the back to a blank page and put the number from the page here so that I know I continued writing in the back of my book. That's not going to happen all the time. So I think that's why I went, this really spoke to me as my journal for this year. And then you get these same pages every month. I'm trying to get to the end of the month. So then we have January 31st. You get a blank page. You get a blank page. You get February, and then you start February 1st. And I like this because I like to put photos in. And so at the end of the month, any photos that I've taken through the month that I really want to think about or go back and revisit, I can put those here. There's so much I can put on here. I can journal how I felt my whole month went. There's so many things I can do on these pages. And then I start my February. And so it's going to go that away until the end of the year. And look how, I mean, this book is brand new and it pretty much lays flat on its own without me having to do anything. But if you are, when they're very first, there's going to be a little bit of a bump. But this lays really flat, guys. So I'm enjoying that. So we go to the December 31st. And then we have page 444. You still have a 12 here. So this could still be your December for your photos or end of the year thoughts, whatever. Then you have 446. To 478. So that's 32 pages that I have in addition that I can carry over thoughts to another page. So I think this is a wonderful planner. If you want to use this for just daily planning, if you don't want to do weekly planning, you just want to have your months and your days, yes, this is a wonderful planner for that. If you want to use it like I'm going to use it for and use it as a journal, hands down, I love this as a journal. It does have the Tomo River paper, and I do love that. So this is, I love this. I really cannot wait to start using this as my journal versus 3 of these. So sometimes it's even 4 of these. So love this one. The next planner I am going to look at is going to be the B6 planner. Now, this is where I made the biggest change, I believe. So, at the beginning of the year, I started in a Hobonichi Cousin Avec A5, and the Cousin Avec has, I'm going to kind of show you this in contrast to this. It's a little apples to oranges, but I'm going to show you the first few pages. Now, first of all, the sizing is going to be way different, but this is another reason I like this planner is because we have gray over, these are the weeks. So week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and no, these are days. Oh, okay. Just confused myself. So this is week 1, 2, 3, 4. This is week 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it keeps you in sequence of what week number you're on. But the days of the week, there are no red days. As you can see, let me bring this up so you can see it. In the Hobonichi, you've got all of the, well, first it's Japanese writing, and then it's red for the holidays and Sundays. And I prefer not to have that. That's just my preference. I just don't like to have all of that. Now, I want the year 2026, and that is all the year in advance we get. And then you go to a blank set of pages. In here, you have 2024, which I'm never looking back at the year previous. And at this point in time, I'm not looking to 2026 yet because we're not there yet. So I wouldn't be using these pages. Then you have your tracking pages with Hobonichi. But what we do have in the B6 core planner, because this is the core planner, you have your goal breakdowns, you have your yearly tracker, you have your your quarterly 1 goals. We have quarterly 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, and then you start your months. So with this planner, there is a lot of things that you can keep up with your goals that Hobonichi does not have. You just go from your trackers straight into your months. Then you go into your weeks. I'm going to get through all of the months and get to the week where it starts in the weeks. This is what I like about Sterling ink, is because when you look at the minimalist display on these pages versus what I am getting with Hobonichi, it's so much less. Yes, I still have my months and the month is here, but I don't have this gigantic black box. I don't have the red. I don't have it circled. I don't have this red. This is very minimal when you turn and look at it. Also, the times are incorporated in this line versus the times in between the line and the first box. So I really like that. Now, the biggest thing for me is that in the core planner, I am not a daily planner. So for me, I did not want all the daily pages. So in the Hobonichi cousin, you go from your weeks and then you go into daily pages, and then you have all of these daily pages at the back that I was never using. In the core planner, I have my weeks. These are my weeklies, and then I go to page 1 through page 23 plus these two, so it makes it 25 pages of blank pages that I can put notes. And that's it, guys. That is a full year compared to 6 months in my Hobonichi. And I'm not wasting pages because there's only 25 pages that are notes pages. Now, it's hard to compare an A5 sizing to the B6, but I'm thinking with my planning style, especially now that I am doing more of a functional type planning versus a decorative planning, I will still use some decoration. I feel like I could go to a B6. And so this year I am trying the B6 out for size. I did get an A5 for my son's girlfriend. She likes an A5, and I always buy her planner for her for Christmas. So she elected and wanted the same planner. Both me and Emma wanted weeklies and monthlies and no daily pages. And so this core planner truly is the best planner for me. I was, as soon as I saw this was an option, I knew that Sterling Ink was going to be the planner that I bought. Now, halfway through the year, I decided I didn't want to use Cousin anymore for my planner. And I was just in that point and frame of mind of what I call planner chaos, that I knew I didn't want to stay in the Hobonichi, but I didn't know where to go. So I looked at Plans by Just Scribble, and they came up, they had this planner. And I thought this was going to solve everything, because I thought the reason I wasn't using the daily pages was because they weren't with my weeks. So I'm going to get to a page where I can show you. Let me get, okay, so this is the last week of October. So this would be the last week of October, and I like the minimalist look on here. That I really liked. I liked that I had my 2 pages for my week. Then I had all of my daily pages. And then I came into my October recap, my page from the start of November. I had my monthly page, which I absolutely loved that it was here. Then I had blank pages, and then I started into my week and my dailies, and a week and dailies, and a week and dailies. And I thought that was going to satisfy my need for my daily pages, that I would use them because they were right there. After I ordered that planner, and I love that planner. I love that it's monthly and then the weeklies. My ideal planner would be the core planner, but have my monthly pages. Let's get back here. Let's say this was my December, and this starts my December weeks, to go monthly and then the weeks, and then monthly and then the weeks. That would be ideal. This is really close, and I am looking forward to using this setup. Now, I've been a Hobonichi user for many, many years. 6 or 7 years I've used Hobonichi. I went to Plans by Just Scribbled. I love that planner, except I was still not using the daily planner. So it did not make sense for me to reorder that planner based on my needs. Now, I highly recommend that planner if you use your daily pages. And their company is great. They ship out quick, the whole thing. Loved it. But I think for me to have planner peace, this core planner is going to be the planner for me. I really think so. And I think if there is an issue, the only issue is going to be that I went to a B6 instead of staying in a A5. However, we're going to really give this a shot, and I think this is going to work for me in this size. Now, the other thing that I wanted to say about this is, because I'm doing more functional planning, I knew I wanted to have some extra pages. And I know you're going to say, Wendy, that makes no sense. You just said you didn't like the daily pages. These wouldn't be used as daily pages. What I want is a book that I can use it in collaboration with my planner so that I can have a list notebook. And this is going to be those lists that I'm going to take with me every year. So in 2027, I take this planner out, I put my 2027 in, and I still have this separate that can go along with that planner. And I ordered two because I want to have functional list and then I want to have collections list. And so I bought two of these. Eventually, when they come back in stock, spoiler, got the N1 200, I think it's 272 pages is what it has into it, but it's just a grid notebook. I eventually, there's a little fluff bunny. I want to have the B6 size in this notebook to go with this one, and then only have one of these notebooks, but they're out of stock and they probably won't be into the end of the year. And I just wanted to go ahead and get things set up. So for this year, we're going to use these booklets, and I am going to order a notebook to be able to use for future planning. So I will have a notebook, but I do think this is going to satisfy my planner wants for this year. Now, for the last, I don't know how many years, I have used, I need to get to some blank pages. Okay, so here's November. I have used a Hobonichi Weeks for my social media planner. And I'm looking for my clip. Guys, give me just a second so that it'll hold these pages down because it's getting really thick. There we go. So, looking at the weeks, I have the horizontal planning element and then a full page. And I like this layout for my social media because what goes in here is my planning for my videos, stuff for Instagram, stuff for YouTube, all of this stuff, guys. Everything that I am posting, all of that. So I'm going to kind of give you a look see at what happens sometimes. I think this is, yeah, this has already happened. So I do my plans, and sometimes like the here, I cross it out and I move it forward and I put something else in here. That happens because sometimes if I'm waiting on for something to come in, I always go ahead and have something filmed that can be in that spot in case something doesn't show up. So if I've got a big haul video coming in from, let's say, Mandy Lynn Plans or Jet Pens or wherever, if it doesn't come in time for me to film it, sometimes I have to cross out and move it ahead. So I like to have a sheet, a blank sheet to keep up with all of that information, and then a box that I can move my stuff forward, and I still like to decorate it. Why not? So this year, I decided to use, I think I'm going to go with these first. So I decided to go into a little bit bigger size. Now, she had these booklets in the same size as the weeks, but I felt like I needed to have a little bit more room this year in this book. So the first year that I really felt like I needed it. However, I felt the need, so I decided to try the N1 versus the N2, and I decided to go in the booklets. Now, the reason I decided this will fit into a traveler's notebook. This booklet, you have the year at a glance, you have a blank page, then I have some goal breakdowns, which I think having this here may entice me to set goals, more realistic goals, and a way to achieve those goals. So I am looking forward to using this. Then I've got my yearly tracker, which I can track multiple things. I can keep up with my um, the days I have a video live and how it does on that day. There's so many things I can use this for. Then I also have quarter one, quarter two, quarter three, and quarter four. And in this is my thought process is this is where I can track my subscribers, my followers, all of that information. Um, it could be if I have a video that does way above anything else, I want to be able to highlight on that date, or in here, I can do that and say, this did exceptional on the first day of release, whatever. So this will be good for me to break down how well videos are doing and what you want to see from me. Then I go into straight monthlies, and that's all that's in here. Again, this is the Tomo River paper. The core planner is the new paper that she is trying out this year, and I want to say it's called B5 paper. I'm not sure, guys, but it's the Cosmo Air Light is what it used to be called, but it's that paper. This is the Tomo River paper. So this goes through the month of January 2027, and then there is a few, let's see, how many pages? There's 17 pages of a blank paper at the back. So I could put notes in here. Now, I like the idea of having my monthly planner separated because what I like to do is when I'm planning out my months, I don't want anything that's going to give away anything. I'm trying to go back to this is February where I list my videos that I'm going to have up for the month. So I do this because that gives me an overall view where my weekly only gives me a weekly view. So what I like to do or am going to do, and I think this is brilliant having it in two separate books, is that I can have my month here and then I can pull out my weekly, and we'll go over in depth this in a minute. And I can sit here and I can say, okay, so I've got all of these scheduled, but look at this, Wendy. You've got a plan with me and a plan with me and a haul and a haul and a haul. And I can say, okay, I'm jamming them up too close together. I need to space things out more so that then when I'm actually scheduling the video and posting where I'm at on that video, I can be looking back at my monthly schedule. And I don't know if I'm saying this where it makes any sense, but that's the way I envision using this. But we'll go into these in just a moment. So this is strictly for monthlies. Then I received two of this is N1H Part 2 weekly, and this is N1H Part 1 weekly, and both of these are 2026. So you get 6 months in each planner, and you're going to get, again, you get your year at a glance, you get your yearly tracker, then you get your, go straight into your weeks. And so this is going to be the first 6 months of the year. So this is going to take us through the last of June, actually into July. And then you get, let's see, you only get 2 extra pages here. That's all that's in this notebook. Okay. Now, this is something else I was thinking is that by having the monthly, I could track the things that I track the most is Instagram and YouTube. I can use one for YouTube and one for Instagram. Perfect. Or I can do, which, you know what? I think that makes more sense. I'm kind of talking myself into doing it this way now as I'm talking to you guys because I showed it to you in the weekly, but it's the same way in the monthly. So I'm going to have that. So once this weekly is filled, I'm not going to come back and keep adding beyond June in this book in my trackers because this half of the year is done. So then when I pull this one in there, I'll still have my monthly, which whatever I'm tracking in my monthly will stay, and I will just finish out the rest of the year here. I think that's going to make more sense for me. And again, this one will start in July and it goes through December. And then I have 3 pages in this one. So for me, it made more sense to do the set of 2 weekly and the monthly. Now, I like to have more pages than that for, because you can see all my tabs here. I'm going to put this to the side. So to compensate for not having those extra blank pages, I am going to have one thin, it's a notebook booklet that is just grid pages. And this is going to be things that I'm currently working on, and there is 64 pages in there. But all the other stuff that I need to track, I bought the notebook that is 272 pages that I can keep this in here. My plan is in here to do if I have a video idea that I want to do and that I know it's going to take me a few steps to get there, I can break it down on these pages. I can do my script on these pages. I can keep up with so much more in here. It's just going to be used as like just blank paper to just jot down things. Sometimes I'm out and about, or when I'm flying, I'll think of something while I'm in the airport and I can just pull this out and jot down a note. Now, this is my goal for this year also, is that by having this in a cover, which is going to be this cover, which is my new TN. I will pull all of this out. This will go in it. This can go in my purse. I can carry with this around with me all the time. Then my daily planner will go into this cover, which is my Gilio Apunto, and it's going to go in here and it will keep this protected. Yes, when I travel, I will take this with me and I will journal. Then I'm going to grab my other cover. As of right now, I have a cover that I used very minimal when I was in a B6 planner, and this is by Aura Estelle. And I think what's going to happen is I'm going to use this one, my planner on this side. I can keep one of these notebooks in here. I don't know if it'll be easier for me to tuck it in this way or the other way. But anyway, this one's going to go on this side. And then I'm thinking this one is going to tuck in. They may not fit. It will. I just need to get it in there. Once I open it up, the sizing will fit. It's just getting it tucked in there. So I think I'm going to have this set up this way. These are very portable, guys. These are versus the A5. This was big to throw into a purse or a bag for me to take with me when I go places. So I think this is going to set me up where I could actually carry all of this in my bag that I carry with me. Um, Even when I'm just running out and about around town. So I think this is going to be more mobile is what I was looking for, and it lets me use this cover that I have not used, but guys, I probably did not use this cover a month when I thought I wanted to do bullet journaling. That was not for me. Um, and I went out of this planner and I love this planner cover. So we're going to try my sterling ink in this cover, see how we do. And then this will be in a traveler's notebook cover, and then I can just take it with me. So I'm really excited about my options this year for my planners. And I hope this helped you in comparison of some of the planners. Um, and the reason, bottom line, the reason I went with sterling ink was because I could do a one shop stop and I could get all the planners that I wanted at one time from her shop. And it was, this is my whole planner stack, guys. This is everything. And it all came in one shipment, and it pretty much hit all the needs that I had. And I was on the fence last year when it came planner season to order planners for 2025. And I saw her videos reviewing all of her planners, but I just didn't have the heart to move away from Hobonichi, even though Sterling Ink was really calling my name then. And I was on the road going from one state to another while I was traveling, and I knew on September 1st that I needed to order my planners, and I went with tried and true to Hobonichi. And I'm not sad that I did that because it reiterated to me what I didn't want moving forward. And then using plans by Just Scribbled kind of forced me to realize that my issue is not the planner. My issue is that I personally don't want daily pages. And so this fits not having daily pages. It's portable, and I have a journal, my planner, and my social media planner. And that's all I need, guys. That's it. And that's all I'm going to be working with for this year. So I'm looking forward to setting up lists in my little booklets and getting started on setting up everything for 2026. So there will be setup videos coming, but I do hope that this explains why I did decide to go with Sterling Ink. And honestly, they truly fit the bill for everything I wanted. Plus, guys, look at these gold edges. I just love this. I think I was looking forward to getting the gold edges more than anything else. To be honest, I just thought every planner company should give you the option of having gold edges. That's just my opinion. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed it, and leave me a detailed or a comment down below that says who you bought your planners from and what your planner setup is going to be for this year. And guys, until next time, bye bye.